Welcome back, my young readers. We have a new story for you, and I hope you are ready for it.
I can definitely tell you I'm ready for it. And I love your new stories, little darling.
I appreciate that try, but remember, we have a ton of stories here on the channel, and stories, they don't spoil, they age well. And what I mean by that is if you haven't listened to a story or seen one of the stories here on the channel in a while, go back, take a look at it again because you might have missed something or you might just enjoy it even more. But right now, we're going to go ahead and get started with the new one. So stay tuned. The name of this story is called Franklin and the Tooth Fairy by Paulette Bourgeois and Brenda Clark. Franklin could count by twos and tie his shoes. He had lots of good friends and one best friend named Bear. Franklin and Bear were the same age. They lived in the same neighborhood. They liked the same games. But one morning, Franklin discovered a way that he and Bear were different. Waiting for the school bus, Bear put his paw in his mouth and wiggled a tooth back and forth. It jiggled and wiggled, and then, with a tug, it came out. "Look at this," said Bear. "I lost my first tooth." Franklin was startled. There was even a little blood on the tooth. "That's terrible. How are you going to tell your mother?" Bear laughed. "My teeth are supposed to fall out," said Bear. "It makes room for my grown-up teeth." Franklin ran his tongue around his gums. They were smooth and firm and completely toothless. "I don't have any teeth," said Franklin. It was Bear's turn to be surprised. Franklin's friends shook their heads sadly. "Too bad," they said. Franklin wondered why. He had never needed teeth before. Bear wrapped his tooth in a bit of tissue and put it in his backpack. "I need to keep this safe," he said. All the way to school, Franklin wondered why Bear wanted to keep his old tooth, especially if he was going to get a brand new grown-up tooth. Now that was exciting. "Why do you want to keep your tooth?" asked Franklin. "Won't you get a big one soon?" All his friends looked at him with amazement. "Don't you know about the Tooth Fairy?" asked Fox. Franklin shook his head. "At night, before you go to sleep, you put your baby tooth under your pillow. Then the Tooth Fairy comes and takes the tooth away," explained Fox. "But that's stealing," said Franklin. "Besides, what does the Tooth Fairy do with all those teeth?" There was a long pause. Bear scratched his head. Fox swished his tail, and Rabbit twitched. "I don't know," said Bear, "but she always leaves something behind." "One of her own teeth?" asked Franklin. Everybody laughed. "Oh, Franklin," said Fox, "the Tooth Fairy leaves a present." Franklin wondered what kind of present a Tooth Fairy would leave. "Hope I get some money," said Bear. "When I lost my first tooth, I got a new book," said Raccoon. "I got crayons," Fox said. Franklin rubbed his gums. He wished he had a tooth to leave for the Tooth Fairy. He wanted a present too. Bear showed his tooth to Mr. Owl as soon as he got to school. Mr. Owl was very excited. "Losing your baby teeth means you're growing up," he said. Franklin did not say anything. He had no teeth. but he wanted to feel grown up too. Franklin was quiet for the rest of the day. Even at home, Franklin was quieter than usual. "What's wrong?" asked Franklin's mother. "I don't have any teeth," he answered. "Neither do we," said his father. "That's the way turtles are." "But I want teeth," said Franklin. His parents looked surprised. "My friends get presents from the tooth fairy when they lose their teeth," said Franklin. "Why do they get presents for old teeth?" asked Franklin's father. "Because it means they're growing up," said Franklin. "I see," said his father. That night, just before bed, Franklin had a good idea. Perhaps tooth fairies did not know that turtles have no teeth. He found a teeny white rock to put under his shell. He asked his mother to help him write a note. It read, "Dear Tooth Fairy, this is a turtle tooth. You may not have seen one before. Please leave a present, Franklin." Franklin woke up very early the next morning. He looked under his shell. The rock was gone, but there was a note instead of a present. He ran to his parents' room. "What does it say?" he asked. Franklin's father put on his reading glasses. "Dear Franklin, sorry, turtles don't have teeth. Good try. Your friend, the Tooth Fairy." Franklin was very unhappy until he noticed a big wrapped package near his breakfast bowl. "Open it," said Franklin's mother. Inside was a beautiful book. "Who is it from?" asked Franklin. "From us," said his parents, "to celebrate your growing up." Franklin stood very tall. "Thank you." From then on, Franklin didn't worry about being different from Bear. He knew that in all the important ways, he and Bear were exactly the same. Well, that ends our story. And Franklin had a tough time with this one, wouldn't you say?
He sure did. And because he has no teeth, when he saw that Bear had lost one of his, that just traumatized him.
It did, but if someone would bring to his attention some pros and cons, he would kind of see that he's in a good place. And I'm just going to talk about the pros, okay? As a baby, he didn't do any teething, which means when babies have their teeth come in, it's so irritable, they cry all the time. He didn't have to do any of that. He doesn't have to worry if he plays too rough out there. He could fall, chip a tooth, lose a tooth because it broke off. He don't have to worry about that. Brushing his teeth, he didn't have to worry about that either.
Yeah, but when he found out about the tooth fairy, and remember, his friends were totally amazed that he had no idea about the tooth fairy, and to learn that the tooth fairy comes, get your teeth, and then leave you something. Oh, that right there, that took the cake for him. He needed to know more.
Well, I don't blame him on that because I can remember the Tooth Fairy growing up. Tooth Fairy always left me money. I didn't know the Tooth Fairy would leave other things. And I remember clearly when I turned, I think I was 12, might have been younger, but I got a letter from the Tooth Fairy. I got some money, but I got a letter, and the letter told me that it was a joy to get my teeth, but this was the last one, and that she wished me well in life.
Wow, your tooth fairy was really nice. Gave you a notice and everything. That was really cool.
I thought so too. At the time, I was a little sad because that was the end of the Tooth Fairy for me.
And I totally get that. Did you notice that Franklin wanted to get in so bad on the Tooth Fairy that he decided he was going to try to fake her out with a fake tooth and leave a note telling her, "You might not have seen this before, but this is a turtle's tooth." That was so funny, and that the Tooth Fairy left him a note that told him, "Good try, Franklin, but no." No, no, and no.
Yeah, but I also really liked the way the story ended. There was a takeaway, guys. And what it was is that even though Franklin, wanted to get in on the Tooth Fairy giving gift, money, presents, all of that, he let it be known to his parents that it also was something else he was looking for. His friends were being told, hey, you're growing up. You're losing your baby teeth and you're getting your grown up teeth. And he didn't have that. So his parents gave him a gift. And when he looked at it and everything, he asked, what's this? And his parents were able to tell him, we noticed you're growing up. And that was their gift to him to show that they noticed it. And I thought that was really cool.
I definitely would have to agree with you on that. That was really a good takeaway. Well, I've got to go. I really enjoyed this. You know I did. And I will see you all next time. Bye!
Bye, Triangel. You guys know I love me some Triangel. She has been such a joy on this channel. Well, until next time, my young readers, I am your little darling narrator, out.